Hello and welcome back to Fashion Bites. I'm Ellen Byerrum, the author of The Crime of Fashion Mysteries, featuring Lacey Smithsonian, a fashion reporter in Washington, D.C., who solves crimes with fashion clues. Today, fall is in the air, and I'm talking about vintage clothing. Somehow, it brings us back to memories of hot cocoa and walks in the woods, and why not have a beautiful outfit to go with that? Today, I'm talking about valuable vintage, and not necessarily old clothes. How do you tell the difference? Well, you're going to find your old clothes at Goodwill or a secondhand store or possibly the church bazaar. Now, while you can always find a vintage treasure at any of those places, your best bet is going to a vintage clothing store. What makes something vintage different? The style is amazing. It speaks of a period, the 30s, the 20s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. The dress I'm wearing has a label in it, which is unusual when you go vintage clothing shopping because this was obviously made for one woman. It is from the fashion collection of Irene Joshi, Seattle. I couldn't find anything out about her on the web, but who knows, maybe you know something about this woman who must have had a wonderful collection of clothes. This is a linen dress with appliques sewn all over it, appliques, beads, and little round embellishments. It's pretty great. You're not going to find another one like it. That's another key of vintage. You're really not going to find just another sweater from the Gap. It's going to be something unusual, some detail that sticks out. With it, I am wearing a short cashmere bolero sweater. This came from Wear It Again Sam in Fort Collins. Kim Sewell works there, and she is a delightful person. You'll love to meet her. Just when you get to Fort Collins, go to Wear It Again Sam. I love the detail of this. I've never seen another sweater quite like it. It's warm, it's cozy, great for a perfect fall day. Also, I really want to talk to you about this jacket, but first, let me show you a picture from this book. This is one of my favorites, The Way We Wore by Marsha Hunt, who was an actress in Hollywood during the 30s and 40s. Now, in this picture, Marsha, who was also a model, is wearing a jacket casually thrown back over the shoulders, a la Joan Crawford. It was a very popular look, and you still see older ladies who like to wear their sweaters or their jackets just tossed on. When I found this jacket, which is circa 1940s, it has some unusual details. First of all, it has these marvelous lucite buttons, very big, and I try to take care to keep these sewn on securely because it's kind of hard to find large lucite buttons today. Also, when I opened it up, I found two straps inside, and I had no idea what it was for. And then I thought, it's to wear slung over your shoulders, and your arms go through the straps so that if it dislodges and falls off, you still have it. It won't fall in the mud. You can just pick it back up. You're not going to find this on a modern jacket, are you? Then the third marvelous thing about this jacket, which is a lovely wool, a lovely check wool, is the pockets. Look at the detail. And I realized that you can wear it, and this I call a thumb holder. You can rest your hands in your pockets without blowing the bottom of the lining out. All in all, a wonderful, wonderful outfit. There are lots of vintage dresses you can find. Like this one. This is perfect for swing dancing. It's got a big full skirt, so it's probably later 40s, and it has embellishment along the waist. I added a necklace because it already has embellishment. Why not add a little more? When you're looking for vintage clothing, I'd like you to keep in mind three things. One is that Americans are a lot bigger these days, and fashions and styles in the 40s, 30s, 20s, 50s, 60s, even 70s were a lot smaller. Sizing is vastly different today than it was then. So, if you have a 23-inch waist, you're golden. You can wear anything. If you're a little larger, it's harder to find the plus size clothes or even just a standard medium, large dress or item, but they are out there. You simply have to look. You can look in vintage clothing stores. Some of them have a separate section with larger sized clothes, or you can go onto the web. The second thing is the fabric is willing, but the thread is weak. When you find something in a vintage store, don't be surprised if the hem hangs immediately after you buy it or the seams pull apart. That is because the thread tends to rot and it's not as strong as the fabric. So if you buy something, it's still a valuable piece, but check the seams, check the zipper, the buttons, and the hem, because you might be looking at a few alterations before you wear it. You know, a new hem, a new zipper. Just be cautious of that. You might want to take along safety pins. I love safety pins. And a sewing kit is also handy to have along when you are wearing something vintage. Thirdly, vintage clothing is a vanishing resource. It's a diminishing resource. So it's getting harder and harder to find those really special, beautiful pieces. And they're delicate. They can be very delicate. So be cautious. Be careful when you wear something vintage. Acknowledge that it's a marvelous piece and you are honoring the woman who had it before you, the woman who kept this piece so pristine that you can wear it 70 years later. Enjoy your clothes and treat them well. That's all I have for now, but I will see you again next time. If you want more information about me, I am on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and my website, ellenbyerrum.com. If you like this video and you don't want to miss any of them, please hit the subscriber button below. It's red and it's on one side or the other of this video. And I will see you next time. Bye.